What's up, everybody? Welcome to a very special video. This is a bit more of a reaction video, I guess, though I've already watched this. I watched the stream live on my lunch hour at work today. This is a big deal, so I figured I would just very quickly touch on what this is, because what I want to show you, the portion of these Twitch stream that I want to show you, I'm going to cut in between, and you won't get maybe the full story. I'd like to fill in some of the blanks. You've read the title already, so you know it's Morrowind. Now, that title could be a little confusing to someone who's played ESO and knows, like, well, we go to parts of Morrowind. But what they mean is we are returning to Vvardenfell, which is the location of the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. They are recreating it, obviously, 700 years earlier than the timeline of the original game. But we're going back to Vvardenfell, and this is a different kind of release. This is not another, 10 to 15 hour expansion, akin to Orsinium, Imperial City, Dark Brotherhood. Very good, decent packages of content, but you're not going to get this for free if you're a sub. This is more like a traditional WoW release. A whole nother section of game where they release it separately physically. It reminds me a lot of World of Warcraft when they come in and they bring a huge chunk of brand new gameplay that is both helps to onboard new players, but also to transition veterans into its content as well. So it's probably the first major chapter. I'll use the word that's right here on the screen. Sorry, my dogs are behind me. It's really like the first major chapter that they're doing here, and I'm really excited. So we should see similar style DLC that we've seen with ESO onto ESO Morrowind. So it's going to be like another platform for this game. They're selling it separately. They have a collector's edition for it. It looks awesome. So I just wanted to kind of give you that idea, and I figured we'd just play through. Matt Firer comes on. He's a creative director there. I wanted to give him his due here. I like this guy a lot. And then it rolls right into the trailer. So we'll just kind of watch it, and I will pause every now and then proportionately through the trailer to kind of give you some information that I got from the conversation with Pete Hines, and his name escapes me, another developer. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, here we go.
Hey, I'm Matt Firer, game director on the Elder Scrolls Online. I'm really happy to be here today to talk about the next great adventure in ESO. Since the original launch of ESO, we've been committed to giving our players new content and features. We've worked continually to make the game better and more fun for everyone. ESO has improved and has grown with every update, and with our 2015 launch of the game on Xbox One and PS4, we set the standard for massively multiplayer games on consoles. The introduction of DLC such as Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood, Orsinium, and the Imperial City gave the ESO community lots more to do in Tamriel. Our final addition last year was One Tamriel, which eliminated all level and alliance restrictions, allowing players to go wherever they want, whenever they want, and with whomever they want. And we're not stopping there. Our first major update in 2017, Homestead, will launch soon, allowing players to acquire and decorate their own homes. Since launch, The Elder Scrolls Online has been one of the most active, growing, and thriving online games in the world, with incredible new content and features that millions of players have told us they love.
That's something I promised I wouldn't pause, and here I did. I'm really curious. I don't think they're going to release the straight data, but I'm very interested in how many. They're saying how successful it is and how many. I mean, when you say millions of players, is that passing? Like millions of players have logged in at one point? Or are you talking about active players that log on, once every month or whatnot? Some kind of table like that where you have. I'm just curious how they're measuring all this. But it makes me excited because I was worried after the rocky release of the original Elder Scrolls Online on PC that this thing was going to crash. And instead, apparently, it could just be PR bullshit. But I hope it's not. I hope it's not bullshit, because I'm a paid subscriber to this game. I've never really been into an MMO. I'm head over heels in love with this game. Anyway, I will probably make a separate video all about ESO and how it started and rose to this. But I would love to maybe look up some of that information. It's super interesting to me.
From all of us at ZeniMax Online Studios, we want to thank our incredible community for your support, your feedback, and dedication. You are the reason why ESO has achieved such success. We would not be here without you. And so, we're happy to announce a new adventure in the Elder Scrolls Online, something bigger and more epic than we've ever done before. We hope you enjoy the next chapter of ESO. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Here we go, the trailer.
Ask of me, assassin.
Sanctioned to execute the Grand Master for his betrayal of the Order.
Granted. Heal him somewhere out of the way to avoid questions.
All right, so this is the first big thing. I'm going to fill you in on with information that we got afterward. So when I was watching this, we see some big mushrooms, right? Jungle, kind of looks jungle-like. A big Dwemer ruin. Obviously, Dwemer ruins are all over Tamriel, but this was a big key hint because if you guys played Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, you would know that the Dwemer they were all over that island. Obviously, not the Dwemer themselves; they've disappeared, but their ruins and their technology and all that. I just felt like it played a bigger part in Elder Scrolls 3, and so that was kind of their setup. Obviously, I believe I don't know if they brought it up yet, but she's part of the Molag Tong, which is a Assassin's Guild apart from the Dark Brotherhood. It's like a dark elf. I think it has something to do with the tribunal and all that. So there's that whole thing. And the first kind of major news here is that this gentleman, this Red Guard, is basically representing the player with his bear. This is a new class that they're bringing on called the Warden. They were pretty cagey about it, but basically one of its main skill trees is he's kind of like a ranger with he can summon animals. Like he's like a beast master, so he can get like bears, who knows what else, bears, lions, wolves, whatever. So he can summon creatures to help him in battle, which is a really cool idea, and not something that we've really seen in Elder Scrolls games. I mean, you can be a Templar, which has the Adric spear or the healing. Well, we've had restoration before. You can be a sorcerer and be a conjurer and destruction mage. All things that are based that we've seen before. Haven't really seen a Beastmaster or really an ability that covers that. So that's a really interesting twist into the Elder Scrolls kind of lore, if you will. And obviously, the cool thing about ESO is you can pick the class, you get the skill trees, you can still do whatever you want. You can be light armor, you can be a mage with a destruction staff and robes, you can be a rogue in medium leather armor with dual daggers, or in this case, he looks like he might be medium or heavy armor with a claymore, and then his ability tree. So you can still mold all the individual classes into any playstyle that you like, which is such a cool part of Elder Scrolls Online. So anyway, this is the Warden class that you're seeing, a new class that you can play. Dang it. So we don't know how much that will play into it, but obviously the Warden has some kind of magical ability. I mean, all of the classes in ESO do. I mean, even the Dragon Knight has magica-based abilities. But I mean, that looked like magic. That looked like mage, mage style shit going down right there. So I don't know if that's going to be, maybe he's going to have like AoE attacks that are, disabling enemies or debuffing enemies or something like that. They didn't really go too much into it other than the whole fact that he's like a Beastmaster. But we'll see another power here in a moment. It's like a shield. So it's just an interesting thought of what the other two branches, because there's 3 skill trees per class. So I'm curious what that other one will be. There's the shield. Did that part remind anyone else of Doom? Damn!
Return swiftly, Morag Tong, and bring any allies.
I realized I think I said Molag Tong earlier, which is Molag Ball. It's Morag Tong. My bad. There is Red Mountain, the center of Vardenfell, which is, it looks like down here, you can see the city here, Vivek, where Vivek is at the top of this pyramid. It looks, you see cranes, so it's actually still under construction, which they actually confirmed in this next part. It's under construction. So that's really cool. We get to see that city in construction, and just everything else we're going to be able to see. They said Balmora will be there, and we'll watch some of that, too. I want you guys to see and hear things straight from the developer and not just me. But really cool, really cool. I'll cut through some of it. We won't just watch it straight through. It's kind of boring.
You meet. Morrowind has need of you all.
Ah, that music. Ah, the heartstrings. The nostalgia. See, separate packaging and everything. Collector's edition. Oh, I'll be pre-ordering.
Hello, everyone. Kelly Link here.
Oh my God, Kelly Link, hi. So I am going to cut through this stuff here, and I'm just going to show you clips of the most interesting and informative parts of this interview. We're not going to watch the whole thing. It's pretty long. So I'm going to cut right here, and I'll show you what I want to show you. Okay? Okay, so this is like right in a few moments later, but I just wanted to give Rich Lambert, that's his name. I apologize, Rich. I didn't remember your name from earlier. He's a creative director. So Pete Hines, of course, if you guys are big Bethesda fans, you've seen Pete Hines. He's the man. He's always talking. He's kind of the face, other than Todd Howard, of Bethesda. He's been talking about Skyrim and Oblivion and Morrowind. He's been there for pretty much the whole time. He's been there for like almost 20 years. So a veteran of the studio. So I'm just going to let Rich here just tell you a little bit here about the game, like where it's set, what their thoughts on doing Vardenfell are.
More specifically to Vardenfell, the island of Vardenfell, yes. So this chapter is something really special for us. The team has gone to great lengths to try and recreate the world, the space that everybody that played Morrowind got to see.
And I mean, as far as the Elder Scrolls lineage goes, Morrowind is a fan favorite. I think I can easily say a lot of people might know Skyrim and Oblivion, but Morrowind, the story, the characters, the lineage that it has, it must have been a really challenging to be able to live up to that.
It is. We want to make it special. It's definitely got a special place in our hearts, and especially with the players as well. Mm-hmm. And so we've gone through to recreate the world in painstaking detail. We've taken the height map from the original Test 3, put it into our game, and adjusted it to fit with our scale and our timeline. So
that's really cool. They literally took the height map from Elder Scrolls, from Elder Scrolls 3, which I'm going to be honest, I don't really know exactly what that is. I can make an assumption, and I probably could have looked it up before I did this video, but I'm assuming it's like a topographical map as far as like, or geographical. As you have just the structure of the land itself, the hills. So that's really cool because that's important. If you want to be really exact about it, 700 years isn't going to change that much, without some extreme, earthquakes that shatter things and move tectonic plates and all that. 700 years, everything's going to look relatively similar, maybe not on a surface level, which gives them the freedom to do whatever they want. So let me jump ahead, grab some more interesting tidbits. All right, so this is just basically talking about the transition from ESO into Morrowind.
How do characters? So you have ESO right now. You can play through Tamriel. How do players get to Vardenfell?
Well, there's two ways. So as a brand new player, this is going to feel like a new game, right? It's there's a new tutorial that kind of on-ramps you into the story, and you can play through the game. And when you've finished with it, you can go into the base game and play all the way through the base game as well. So there's 300 plus hours on top of the 30 plus hours that are coming with Vardenfell. And as an existing player, this is going to feel a little bit more like an expansion. That's kind of a dirty word to us because expansion kind of means max level, end game kind of thing. And we have that in this. But with the advent of One Tamriel, we kind of got rid of all of those arbitrary level gates and player separation issues. So you can just play with anybody you want at any time.
Well, let's go a little bit past the story of what Vardenfell holds for us and talk a little bit about the additions that are coming with this.
All right, so we'll hold off on that. It's a big deal, but that's how I was kind of likening it to WoW, in the sense that it's a separate release. Of course, it'll connect to the game. It's all part of one large picture, but it'll bring about more changes, more updates, and you can very easily, as a new player, jump right in and start playing the newest content right along with everybody else, which is important, really important. So we'll continue cutting through some stuff. So I missed a couple of things as I'm watching through. I'm just picking the most interesting parts. The Warden, they did actually very quickly notate the other skill trees. I must have just gone over my head. I was all excited. He said nature magic. That's all he said about one of them. And a lot of ice. There's an ice magic with a lot of defensive abilities and stuff. So those are the other two, including, and then there's one with the animal, the beast stuff. So, and some healing properties as well. So that's probably with the nature magic. So I just want to throw that in there. I like this pause I caught on him. Oh, Morrowind! Anyway, we have them discussing here right at the beginning how Morrowind, or in this case Vardenfell, is different and similar with their time period and how it's going to look and feel compared to the Elder Scrolls 3.
Well, we're roughly 700 years in the past.
Right.
So we are before, in our timeline, before a lot of the major events that happened in Vardenfell. So Dagoth-Ur is still sleeping in Red Mountain.
But we still have the three gods, right? We
the
have
tribunal is there, yeah.
Sothasil, Amalexia, and Vivek.
There you go.
Right. Got it.
Well done, Kelly.
And so you will meet Vivek.
Really?
You will work with him as part of the main story.
Awesome.
Through the zone. Vivek is, without kind of spoiling anything, Vivek is losing his power.
Okay.
And so he needs you to help him to prevent the destruction of Vardenfell.
And we get to see the city of Vivek, with Vivek being in there, right?
We do, but we're 700 years in the past. And so Vivek City is still actually under construction. So only a few of the cantons have actually been built.
What else has changed city-wise from the Morrowind timeline, which is like the end of the third era, and right now we're in the middle of the second era in the ESO timeline. So what else has changed? I mean, obviously the dwarves are all still gone, but
Yep,
is there more? Is there more of their lore in this island?
We have quite a bit of lore on the dwarves. Well, not on the dwarves, but of the ruins. You get to go in through a bunch of the dwarven ruins. You're going to get to go and see the places that you're familiar with. So you're going to get to see Sadanine. You're going to get to see Balmora. Vivek City is still under construction.
That's so awesome.
Gone to great lengths to recreate the world that people are familiar with.
We've already met Almalexia, and we're going to meet Vivek, but you haven't said anything about Sothasil.
About Sothasil?
Is it happening? Is the Clockwork City happening?
So Clockwork City, she's referencing, is in the Tribunal DLC, which actually is on the major landmass of Morrowind. So it's not going to be in the game, with the exception of the fact he announces what's called Battlegrounds, which is like smaller versions of PvP. So somewhere in between the major PvP all-out war and these like the little banners that you put down in duels. They're going to be competitive. I think they even said there'd be like ranked matches where they fight each other. A lot of cool stuff, man. Lot of cool stuff. The only other thing I want to cover with them is the versions of the release, which are pretty fucking cool. So check these out. I'm definitely picking up the collector's edition because I am a whore. Yeah, that's pretty much why I'll be doing that. So I'll grab that. We'll show that, and then we'll just kind of end on the end note with just a little bit more conversation. All right, cool. Let's go find it. Okay, so I'm just going to end on this point here. Pete Hines is going to tell us the different versions of what you can get, what you can purchase now. This part is more for those of us who have already probably played ESO, or if you're planning on picking it up, kind of the different options that they're going to be selling this thing in.
And flavors. So there's the buy the whole thing, buy the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind, which comes with the base game, plus the Morrowind chapter. As Rich said, you start the game in Morrowind, to a completely new beginning to the game. You have a new class that you can pick from. And if you pre-order, we have a bunch of pre-order items that you get special for pre-ordering. Then we have a collector's edition. So we've got a collector edition that comes with the giant colossus.
Hell yeah!
Like 5-10 seconds.
He's amazing. I don't want to pick him up because that blade is a little shaky. This is obviously our production model, but you get this beautiful physical thing that comes along with a bunch of additional digital items. And then for existing players,
fuck yes,
you don't have to buy the full game. You can simply.
I'm so obsessed with possessions. This looks so sick. It looks like it comes with an art book, steelbook case, and that fucking awesome Dwemer Colossus statue. Is that like a poster down there too, or a map? It's another map of Vardenfell. Oh, I'm so getting this. Absolutely.
Buy an upgrade edition. So the upgrade edition for $40 allows you to simply upgrade to Morrowind. As Rich said, you can take all your existing characters into Morrowind and play all of the content and story stuff there with your existing characters. You can roll new characters and start off the game in Morrowind. And then we have a digital collector's edition that you can do as an upgrade. So you can add on all of the digital items that you see here. You get a special mount, you get a special pet, a bunch of new stuff. And so for $60 you can get just the upgrade with all the digital collector's edition stuff, and then obviously the full physical collector's edition comes with the whole kit and boodle. So basically, again, it's whether you've never played the game or you're already playing the game, there's a variety of different ways to get into this new chapter. We think folks are going to want to re-roll new characters and play through the beginning of Morrowind with a new character.
Especially for like the hardcore Elder Scrolls fans, right? Morrowind, like this is important to them. This is their this is my childhood. The nostalgia. This came out. Well, in fact, it's not a coincidence.
That hurts a little, Kelly, because I did work on that game. So your childhood
she just said you're old.
Like early in my.
I think I was in middle school.
Thanks for that
Middle school when
shot. No,
Morrowind
that's
came
great.
out. Sorry.
I'm graying on camera.
It's not just a coincidence that you're releasing the Morrowind chapter for Elder Scrolls Online. It came out 15 years ago.
Interesting, right? I did not know. I didn't even think about that. So they're releasing this on the 15th anniversary of the release of Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. So cool.
So this is a remembrance.
It'll have been almost exactly 15 years since the first one, and you know, as Rich said, it holds a special place, as well it should, in all Elder Scrolls fans. In the modern era of of the Elder Scrolls Morrowind is really important, simply because it is the one that had the most variety in terms of it felt really alien, that you had the Ashlands and you'd go to Ald Rune and there's this giant hall that's built out of an ancient crab, and then you go to Sadrith Mora where you have using special magics to grow these mushroom buildings and just all of the different variety that you see throughout
in
Vardenfell.
the first 2 games.
And so they go on about how cool Morrowind is and why this is going to be awesome and sales pitch. But that's it. That's the info there. I am thrilled about this. The journey of this game, which I think I'm going to make an experience point actually on ESO from beginning to now, because where it started and where it has ended up and where it's going is quite the journey, and it's really it's a fantastic fucking game. It's phenomenal. If you're an Elder Scrolls fan, if you like Skyrim and you like Oblivion and you like Morrowind, you will enjoy this. The lore is great. There's a bunch of great characters in it. It's not the most beautiful game in the sense of just pure. It doesn't look as good as, as Skyrim, the HD, but it's still very pretty. The art direction is on point. It looks like Elder Scrolls. The music is beautiful. I mean, it is an Elder Scrolls experience, which is why, everyone's sitting here like, oh, when's Elder Scrolls 6 coming out? Which I'm excited for, but there's hundreds of hours of Elder Scrolls gameplay right here for us to play right now. And so this just makes me want to keep playing. I have a Dark Elf character who's pretty low level. I want to get him up so I can throw him into this storyline. It's just super exciting. I love to see that they're supporting this game. I wasn't sure how it was doing. They always say, oh, we're doing great, but you never really know what that means from PR guys. So the fact that they're investing and they're making this massive expansion, this almost a sequel to kind of the second platform like WoW does, is a good sign all across the board. And I just can't wait to play that. So bravo ZeniMax, bravo Bethesda. Can't wait to continue to play this game and see new details about the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind. Are you guys excited? Are you going to play this? You're going to pick this up? Have you played ESO before? If you have any questions about ESO, ask me. I'd be more than happy to talk to you all about it. And we will see you next time. I'm going to work on that experience point. We've got videos coming out. I played the For Honor beta. I've got an impressions video coming very soon. We actually did a podcast, and it's been uploaded to SoundCloud. I will give you guys that link probably tonight. I would actually check our Facebook page and see if that link is in there. We're going to do a weekly podcast, so check that shit out. Dead Space, I've started recording again, believe it or not. So Dead Space 2, there will be more Let's Plays. We got a bunch of shit rolling downhill for you guys. So check it out. Engage with us. Talk to us on Facebook. Talk to us on YouTube. We really want to hear what you guys have to say, and we love talking about games. We do this all for fun. I don't care if I got 5 views. If a couple of you talk to us and engage, that's what we want. So thank you again for watching. Any new updates that come out with this, I will cover them the second they come out, just like we did today. All right. Well, hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. Later!